Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line.
Because the fight isn't over yet.
You will see me choose to protect my community by wearing a face cover.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me.
As a son.
As a man with a never quit attitude.
As a fighter for change.
Join me in wearing a face cover.
To help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness
that has the power to make a big difference.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door.
YT Productions.
Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson. And you gon' learn today, how your team they play, how they play, boy. You gon' learn today, how your team they play, how they play, yeah. We represent that SWAC, that MEAC, and let me say, what's up to Tennessee State? You're tuned into the HBCU Sports Lab with Dr. Cavil.
Inside the HBCU. This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. With Mike Watson and Charles Bishop, I've taken the concrete off the feet, and they're back in the studio, and so they're going to get it to you hard and heavy. No, kidding aside, they were taking care of business on assignment, making sure y'all can get even more HBCU information. So welcome to episode 135 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, along with my co-host, Mike Watson and Charles Bishop. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, none other than Ralph Cooper, in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. How we doing, Mike?
It's all good, Doc. What's going on?
Man, I like the shirt you got there.
Oh, appreciate it. I like it too. I like the colors, especially.
You do. There you go. How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing well, Dr. Bill. It's great to be off the road. Enjoyed the SWAC championship this past weekend. So I was representing well for the Sports Lab over there.
Yeah, I heard you put the shirt on, so I appreciate it. Did you get any compliments on the shirt?
I got quite a few compliments on my shirt, especially on the golf course. I keep telling you, it's a hot ticket.
Oh, it's coming. We got the orders. We got it coming in. I'm taking it. We're going to make sure we get a nice amount, and then we're going to deliver it and make sure everybody gets what they want in terms of the golf visors, baseball caps, if you want them, polo shirts. I'm even looking into some warm-ups. So we're going to have some really nice things that you can get. We got a couple of other different logo dimensions that you can get in here. So you're going to be taken care of for all those lab listeners out there ready for the election. We got some folks that said they're ready for it today. I appreciate it always. Shout out to Lonnie Shaw, George Suggs. Chuck Hunt is always in the house. Michael Ford is showing us some love. Maroon and Wright, 1875, no doubt about it. Congratulations. Kate Johnson, good evening inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Time for the lecture, no doubt about it. Arby Parker, he said time to take his seat. Where's my pencil sharpener? That's right. Let's get it in. Reggie Howe, representing the CIAA, always in the house. Appreciate you, Reggie. Ricky Burton, giving us some love today, as always. Lonnie Shaw, Aggie's in the house, ready for the lecture. Alex Hines is in the house. Richmond, Virginia, CIAA country is in the house. George Suggs, Aggies do. They always do. They show doing a lot right now on men's and women's track and field. No doubt about that. And I'm sure they're looking forward to doing much, much more in the fall. We'll tease you a little bit and get into that conversation. But right now, it is all about the Alabama A&M Bulldogs coming off a great comeback victory, if you would, 40-33 over the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. So a lot of good talk going on there. We'll take a deeper dive into that part of the show before we get into it. But as we move forward and just give you some information, obviously tough news out there for us that are HBCU fans. 2021 NFL Draft, HBCU Game Day pointed out there were no players drafted this year. Many factors may go into that, but we have some players that did sign some free agency deals, and we'll get in a little bit, or you can go check out HBCU Game Day, that they're doing a great job of covering that. Without further ado, we have an announcement. Some of you all may have heard it out there, but we're going to get it official from Dr. Jason Cavil as we bring him into the lab. First time in terms of Dr. Jason Cavil out of the SWAC office. That's a senior associate commissioner. Is going to give us some announcement. We'll see if we can get him up here as he's getting his information there. But as we doing that, we'll talk about, oh, here we go. There we go, looking sharp. Dr. Jason Cavil, hit your mute button so we can get you in there. We don't want you to accuse us saying that we're trying to fade you in anyway. We know how you do. No, you Doctor.
Talking on mute, Dr. Cavil.
Okay, no problem. It happens to the best of it. All those folks, all those lecture lab listeners, keep chugging us up. We're going to give you some more shout outs. But at this point, we got an announcement. You just finished with the SWAC football championship game. You're heading to Houston in my area. So welcome to Texas, as we say. We'll make sure we'll treat you right. But you got the outdoor men's and women's track and field championship hosted by Prairie View A&M University. And then obviously you close out with the baseball and softball. What is the announcement you have for us today, Dr. Jason K?
Well, we just finished with the spring season. And so we're going into a historical media day on July 20th at 10 a.m. here in Birmingham, Alabama. And I'll tell you, it's historical from the standpoint that we have 12 teams this year. This will be the first time the SWAC has had a media day. 12 teams, 12 coaches, 2 student athletes per school. And so this is historic. Wow. I wouldn't miss this.
Yeah, no, I'll find a way to get into it. If you let me in there, I'll plan to be there, Dr. Jason Cavil. So I appreciate you giving us that announcement. Anything else you want to share before we, I know your schedule is so busy. And before we do that, let me be a nicer host than that. Charles, you have any question that you want to provide Dr. Jason Cavil? We're going to bring him back on for a more extensive to really talk about the operational side and championships. He has a wealth of knowledge in that. But just in general, in terms of what they were able to do with SWAC championship games since you were there, anything you want to ask him or tell him about that, your experience in Jackson?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations, Dr. Cavil, in terms of what you all were able to do this past spring with football and providing it for the fans. I think speaking for myself and quite a few of SWAC fans around the country, very appreciative that the SWAC office did everything possible to not only get this season in, but make things safe. So definitely wanted to send congratulatory praises your way in that regard.
Well, thank you. And we would like to say thank you to fans, student athletes, coaches. They've been resilient in this whole process. You're thinking about a season impacted by COVID, not only COVID, but weather as well. And so they showed a sense of perseverance, and I think for student athletes is a parallel to life. This is the closest that they're going to get with a real life experience while playing athletics.
No doubt about it.
Great part of that. Mike, did you want to chime in and ask any quick question there?
Yeah, Dr. Cavil, I just want to echo what my colleague CB was saying. Tremendous job to you and the SWAC on this season. You have so many challenges. I mean, not only did you have the spring SWAC championship, but you had other spring sports. So you had those student athletes that had their hopes on the line, in the midst of this pandemic. Let me just ask one simple question. Are you and the team or the staff, now that it's at least you see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, the cases are going down, you see almost the end of the season, are y'all at a point to where you're going, man, we got it done?
Not yet. It's not over till it's over. I think that's Lenny Kravitz, right? Southern Plains, going down the stretch, but it's not over till it's over. So we're focused. We're excited about getting through a partial. We're partial of the way through as relates to spring championships. So we're excited about that, but laser focused on the upcoming championships. As Dr. Cavil mentioned, we have track this week, softball next week, and then we conclude with baseball in Madison, Alabama. So excited just a little, but more so focused on the task at hand.
No problem, man. Again, you were coming over here announcing that the media day, what is the date and time of that again, and where's the location?
July 20th, that's a Tuesday, Birmingham, Alabama, 10 o'clock a.m. Follow us at the SWAC on social media. And for more information, you can always go to www.swac.org. And I got to give a shout out to Andrew Roberts. He's our assistant commissioner for media relations, has done a phenomenal job. So he's the one that gave me the talking points. I was trying to make sure I got everything in.
No doubt about it. I wanted to make sure we give a shout out to Andrew, and you did a great job with that. Again, we know your time is busy. We're going to set up a longer interview, but I really wanted to give a chance to break this out. As you said, it's a historic point in the history when you talk about 12 members of the conference. Never have the conference been up to 12 members. And then you talk about the type of members that you have, splitting into 2 divisions, 6 teams apiece. And after what just took place this spring, kicking everything off with football and volleyball, it's going to be deep and extremely fun. So I look forward to talking with you about the operation side of how you're going to make all this happen.
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget the preseason polls. This is going to be the first time we rank them 1 through 12. You know?
What? Stop. There's a saying in showbiz. Always leave them wanting for more. He just dropped that nugget like that.
Yeah, he's dropping the mic. Yeah, we're going to give him that. All right, Dr. Jason Cavil, we'll let you go. Know your time is busy, and I promised that I would get you out of here. So thank you so much for joining us on short notice, but great information for all those lab lecture listeners out there that want to always get more information.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank
you. Man. Now we know the date, Charles.
We know the date.
Y'all ready? We're going to make sure we give all the lab lecture listeners live content. Come and check us out. We'll be there asking our questions, and, we'll give you a chance to see if you all have some questions you want us to make sure we ask. So tune in and tune out. We'll get in there in terms of that. You've heard about the postseason's announcements in terms of going forward as we move forward. And we'll get into giving you all some news and dates. But Charles, if you'd share with us a little bit about your experience down there in Jackson, not necessarily what went into the game. We'll get a chance to dissect that and really get you all's perspective on that. But if you would break down just a little bit, what were your thoughts in regards to the atmosphere? We just talked about the senior associate commissioner of athletics and operations, administration in a lot of ways. What were your general thoughts of that event?
And 2 things, and I definitely want to shout out to UAPB's fan base and Alabama A&M's fan base. Both represented very well. UAPB especially, I thought they were loud throughout the game. I take my hat off to them in terms of both of these fan bases. They were really into the game. I thought the game day operations staff there in Jackson did a really great job, I think, in providing a great environment from the DJ to the PA announcer, really keeping the fans engaged, things of that nature. But, you just notice all those sorts of things that really made this game really exciting. And what more can you ask for than the game itself to come down to a final possession? But it had the elements, I think, that I've often talked about that make Southwestern Athletic Conference football really exciting, really special. The bands got into it. Third downs, fans got into it. You felt that palpable excitement, especially with both teams going back and forth. And you had just enough offense, you had just enough defense, you had just enough on special teams that it created a really exciting mix. And it was a fun atmosphere. So for all those that kind of kicked the can, if you will, or down spring football, listen, let me tell you something. They turned the scoreboard on and fans showed up, and it was exciting.
Thank you, Charles. Dr. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with our guest, head coach of the Alabama A&M. Let me get that right. The champion, SWAC champion, HBCU champion as well. Coach Connell Maynor will be right back with us after we take this quick break.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports Network.
Your ad could be ran here. myjbn.com/support. myjbn.com/support for more information.
Thank you, guys.
This is Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. We have Coach Connell Maynor, Alabama A&M football coach, spring 2021 champion, HBCU champion, first in the history of Alabama A&M. That's a lot. That's a lot, Coach. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling good, man. Still riding high right now. You know, just taking it all in and enjoying the moment.
You deserve it, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should enjoy that. I know how hard you work, particular coaches work in the business. And this year, COVID-19 was unlike any other for various reasons. And you are able to get it done literally on the field and bring home a championship. Talk a little bit about the matchup. We had you on the week before and you talked about going into the matchup. But after it was played, what things that you saw during the game that you really thought your team was able to get it done in terms of winning the championship?
Well, it was a great football game. The first half, I thought, well, we went down and scored, and they stopped us in the red zone. And that's going to be key when you got two high-scoring offenses and, you question the defenses coming in, which defense can bend but not continue to kick field goals, not allow them to get touchdowns. So I thought that was huge on their part to stop us the first drive, and we only got 3, and then they went right down the field and got 7. And so they let us know right then, we come to play, it's going to be a fight. And, we came right back down and scored and made it 10-7. And, of course, then we kicked off and they ran it back for a touchdown. And so they right back up on us. And so it's going back and forth, and you got a lot of action going on. And so we knew they was ready to play. And like I said, we respected them. We didn't fear them. They was there for a reason. I mean, they was the best team from the other side. And so we knew they could play. We knew it would be a good football game. And but like I said, halftime it was 26-18. And what I told my guys was, look, defense playing good. The defense only gave up 12 points. Offense gave up 7. The special teams gave up 7. So we're in good shape. We still scored 18 points, and we wasn't playing our best football. And you got to credit some of that to Pine Bluff because they was playing some good coverage on our receivers. They was getting some pressure on the quarterback. They was stopping the running game. So at the end of the day, we still had 18 points. And so we just said, we just got to settle down. Quill got hit, I think, 2 times the first half. So I said, look, man, they're not getting to you. It's like 7-on-7 out there. So just stand tall and make the throws you've been making. I told the receivers and running backs, they were trying too hard. I said, everybody's trying too hard. Just relax and do your job. I said, we'll be fine offensively. And defense is doing a great job. They only gave up 12 points. So let's get a stop coming out because they get the ball. And then we go down and score. And it's a whole different ball game. And that's what we did the second half.
Appreciate it. Let me go to Charles and let him ask the follow-up question.
Yeah, Coach Murray, this spring season was such an anomaly with the pandemic and everything. How much synergy do you think it gives Alabama A&M going forward in addition to the fall 21 season?
I think it was tremendous momentum. And like you say, it's just a short turnaround. We got 3 months, and then we're going to be in camp. So the guys basically got a month off, and they're going to be back in summer school. So they'll be back with the strength and conditioning coach, and then they'll go on the field in the afternoons on their own, probably 2 or 3 days a week. And so, but it gives us great momentum because we're on top. We haven't lost a game in a while, and we got confidence. So it has to be better than being 0-4 or 1-3 or 1-5. So it's a lot of momentum that we know we can do it. We're playing well. We know we got a good football team, and so we're just going to try to let that momentum roll into next year.
Do you feel like you have to potentially kind of change up maybe your training schedule when you do get back to fall practice, just to save your guys' bodies or their legs in terms of moving forward?
Game wise, I think we're fine. We only played 4 games. But we was here for a while. I think it was 3 or 4 months. Since we've been back in January. So we've been working, we've been practicing and lifting. And even though we don't lift like you lift in the off season, we lift our in season lifts. And so that wear and tear is what we got to recover from, not necessarily the games. Because if you look at the FCS playoffs that's still going on now, normally you're going to be 14-1, 15-1, 15-0, somewhere around that range, 13-2. You're going to play around 15, 16 games if you're going to make it to the national championship game. So with that aspect, we'll be fine because we got a 10-game schedule right now. We're still trying to get one more game. So if we play 11 with the 4 that we play, that's 15 games, but we got a 3-month break in between. So we'll be fine in that aspect. These guys are 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old guys in their prime. They don't need a lot of rest.
Mm-hmm. Sure thing.
Go ahead, Mike.
I want to see the Ric Flair again. That's what I want to see.
Hey, man. Hey, I walked into a restaurant today. It's a ex-Bulldog restaurant, a barbecue spot. And when I walked in the door, the owner was standing there. And when I walked in the door, he said, "Woo!" and started doing the Nature Boy. I was like, man, wow. I said, that's crazy. So, yeah, the Nature Boys went viral, man.
I can jump in there with Mike as he alluded that, and I let him follow up with a question. But I want to know, what is the connection? Where did it come from? Because a lot of us saw that you had Ric Flair give a pep talk, if you would, before the game. Where did that connection take place?
Well, first of all, I'm a North Carolina guy. Ric Flair's a North Carolina guy. And, my granddaddy used to take me to the wrestling, and he's always been my favorite wrestler. Ric Flair's always been my favorite wrestler. I didn't even watch it unless he was wrestling. And then my TV guy, his friend, one of his friends, good friends, married Ric Flair's daughter. So that's where the connection came from. So he asked him to ask Rick, would he do that for us? And he told me he had a surprise. And he told me on Monday he had a surprise that he was working on for me for this week's Friday night team meeting. So I said, okay. And so he showed me Thursday.
Nice.
And matter of fact, Friday on the way on the bus to the game, he showed me on the bus. And so I was very excited. And then I showed the guys Friday night, and they got super excited. And so then after the game, Tiffany asked a question about the Nature Boy. And so I told her, this is for the Nature Boy, for what he did for us. And so when I did the Nature Boy, it was a tribute to him for what he did for us.
No doubt about it. And
pretty cool.
It worked. You pushed all the right buttons. Go ahead, Mike. Follow up.
So, Coach, after this, you're still probably in the celebration mode, but you said it yourself. You have a short turnaround. Guys got to recover, but then start strength and conditioning. You also have recruits probably coming in. As you reflect on this season, looking at the overall philosophy, you guys led the SWAC in passing and a lot of other categories. Are there any things, at least right now, that you think you want to take a harder look at going into the fall, knowing you got FAMU coming in, Bethune-Cookman coming in? There are different types of teams, and, you played. Is there anything that really kind of bubbling around right now that, all right, we're going to take a look at this aspect and this philosophy?
Oh, we're going to look at everything. We're going to self-scout ourselves, offensively, defensively, special teams, and we're going to go from there, man. Like I say, we're on top right now. We want to stay on top. And so we got to self-scout and see what we're doing wrong and see what we need to improve, see what we have tendencies at, and be able to break those tendencies. We want to stay on top. So everybody else is going to try to get better. We're going to try to get better. We're not going to get conservative and satisfied with where we're at. We're going to try to get better. I always tell my players, it's your job to keep your job. It's my job to replace you. So I'm trying to get better than what I got right now.
Coach, just want to chime in. A lot of the viewers just want to say congratulations to you. Job well done. Really respect the work that you've done for Alabama A&M and really throughout your career with many people following you. I wanted to follow up first about the game itself. Asked you this during the post game about just how well your defense played. Where I know your expectations were they're going to play well, but them playing that well, is that something that you saw coming into that matchup?
Well, I think they probably played the misconception is the score. The score don't tell us how good our defense played because Pine Bluff scored 33 points and they normally score 35. We scored 40. We normally score 40. So it looks like our defense didn't play very well. Pine Bluff was 2 points away from getting their average of 35 points, but we gave a kick return for a touchdown, and we gave up one on offense where they sacked the quarterback, Scoop scored. So we gave up 14 points there, and then we gave up a late touchdown in the fourth quarter when we basically was in prevent defense. And so we weren't playing our normal defense. So basically, you know, you can easily say they could have easily only scored 14 points, but they scored 21 on the defense. So defense played lights out, man. They gave up a late touchdown in the second half. That's the only one they gave up. And again, it was prevent. So I was very pleased with the defense. And we knew that we could have a performance like that because we got Marcus Kushner, and he could put pressure on the quarterback. And so if you don't get that ball out on time, Marcus Kushner, it will get there to your quarterback. So we knew if we can get them behind the chains and force them to have to throw the football, if we had a chance to get off the football field.
No doubt about it. Take us a little deeper in there, coming at a halftime, or even the start of the game. Are you type of program coach that you script the first couple of plays coming into a game, coming out of the half? And I asked that, are we overthinking it? It looks schematically like you made some changes at halftime to intentionally run the ball a little more, or was that part of what was going on in your original plans in terms of the matchup?
Well, I always tell everybody, they don't listen. I'm gonna tell y'all again. It's not rocket. It's not rocket.
That's
science.
right. Yep.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel. We're gonna play to our strengths, the defensive weaknesses. What they were trying to do, they try to play cover 2 man. They want to play 5 on our 5 wide receivers, put 2 safeties on the top. That means they only got 4 in the box. We got 5 blocking, so we run quarterback draw. That's why we ran the ball. That's why we ran quarterback draw so much the second half, because that's what they was trying to do. So again, we're going to take what you give us. If you don't think Aquil Glass can run the ball for 15, 20 yards, then guess what? You'll find out after the game. You'll realize it after the game. Okay, so you're not gonna play that defense on us and think that we're not gonna take advantage of it. Okay, so now if we start running quarterback draw and you stop rushing your lineman, guess what? We're gonna stop running quarterback draw and throw the ball. Now we got all day to throw the ball. Okay, so you're not gonna win. Okay, you're not smarter than me. I know the game. It's very simple. It's X's and O's. Okay, and so that's what we're gonna do. Everybody else try to reinvent the wheel. They're gonna do what they do. I'm not gonna do what we do. I'm gonna do opposite what you do. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I've been saying since I was at Winston. So yeah, we gonna make adjustments. That's why we score in the third quarter. That's why we score in the fourth quarter. We're gonna make adjustments. We're gonna see what you're trying to do, because what these coaches do, they do what they do. They gonna do what they do. You got to beat me at what I do. Okay, that's what you do. That's what we're gonna do then.
Man, I can listen to this all day. I thank you, Coach, for coming in here. If you don't mind, if you could stick with us after this quick break and ask a couple more questions and go into a little bit of next year. But I have one question I think everybody wants to know in regards to first time you took a break. But if you stick with us, we'll have to ask that question after we come from this break. This is Dr. Ville inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Stick with us. We'll be right back as we interview Coach Maynor, champion, SWAC 2021. Alabama A&M Bulldogs are the champion of the SWAC.
There's a shot. To right. Might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. All you guys at BCSN, we really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
We are back. For the first time in 62 years, the Florida Memorial Lions will hit the gridiron. And their home games will be streamed by the Black College Sports Network at www.fmuathletics.com, www.mybcsn.net, and on the MyBCSN app, available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
This is Dr. Bill inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Watson and Charles Bishop, and we're talking to the 2021 spring champion of the Southwestern Athletic Conference football program, Alabama A&M Coach Maynor, as well as the HBCU national champion. Let me make sure I put that out there as well. First one in the history of Alabama A&M. A lot going on there, Coach. I need to know, if you can tell us, what was the first thing you did once you got settled to reflect on winning it?
I don't know. Well, on the bus, after I settled down, got something to eat, I just started returning all the text messages, thanking everybody that was congratulating me. I think if they gonna take out time to text me, then I owe them to be to respond to everybody that text me. So I had to sit down and send out about 200 texts in reply to the texts that came in, and just showing that I really appreciate their support of me and this program. And if you can text me, then I definitely can respond to the text.
No doubt about it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Charles, you have a follow-up question you want to ask?
I did, and Coach Dr. Gamble, he made a comment in the post-game press conference in terms of the transfer portal and sort of re-recruiting his players. Do you share that same concern with regards to going through the process of kind of making sure that the players that you have on roster continue to stay with you in this program?
Well, I really can't control that, if they go in the portal or not, or if somebody come after them. All I can do is they know who I am. They know who Coach Maynor is. They know how much I care about them as a person, as an individual, how I want them to be successful after football. Football is only going to last for so long. And so I'm trying to get them ready for the next 80 years, 60 years that they're going to live, that they got to have a degree, something to fall back on. NFL stands for not for long. It's the best part-time temporary job you can ever have if you're fortunate enough to have that job. But our average lifespan is only 3.5 years. So, most people are not going to make it past 3.5 years. So if you make that 3.5 years, you're not going to have any money when you come out of the NFL, because you're going to be making the minimum $400,000. You're going to be flying people in. You're going to buy your mama a house. You're going to buy your daddy a Cadillac. You're going to buy a Mercedes. You got to fly your brother in, fly all these different girls in, you're partying. And in 3.5 years, you're not going to have no money. You're going to be out of the league. Everybody still thinks you got money. Everybody still calling you asking for money. And you too ashamed to tell them you don't have no money. And now what you going to do? You're 27, 28 years old. You don't have a degree. What are you going to do? So my players understand that. That's what I'm trying to teach these guys. I'm trying to get them ready for the real world. When they leave A&M, they'll be prepared. So, and I tell them, every coach ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. I can't speak for every coach, but this is what I do know. Every coach is not like that. So sorry about that. I was getting a call. Every coach don't care about you like that. And that's how I care about my players like that, because the discipline that I install in them off the football field, it carries over to the football field, and then it's going to carry over in life. One of the things I always tell my players is, in your lifetime, and this goes for y'all too, you're going to suffer one or two things. You're going to suffer the pain of discipline, or the pain of disappointment from regret. Okay, the discipline of going to class, going to study hall, going to study groups, doing your homework. And then you'll be prepared on test day on Friday, and you'll make an A, and you're good. But if you don't go to class, and you don't go to study groups, and you don't go to study hall, and you never read your assignment, then when test day comes, you're not going to be prepared. You're going to fail, and you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to regret it. So, and the same thing, going to work late every day, or taking off days, then you're going to get fired, and then you're going to be disappointed. You're going to regret it because you weren't disciplined enough to get up every morning and go to work on time so you can feed your family. It's a life lesson, and it's the same thing in football. Okay, so if you're not disciplined enough to go to the weight room, study your film, go to practice and bust your butt and do all the little things, then you're going to suffer the pain of disappointment from regret when you look up at that scoreboard and you're behind. And so those are the life lessons that I teach my players. And so when my players understand that and that I care about them, I don't worry about them going somewhere else and leaving my program. So, but I can't control what they do, to answer your question. But all I can do is do what I do. And once they understand who I am, they're not going to go anywhere.
Sure thing.
Mike, go ahead and follow up with your final question.
Yeah, you blessed me with that. So for two things, thank you. Great words. Question is, if I may ask you to kind of take your coaching hat off and put your your scout hat on. A lot of folks have given Aqeel Glass a lot of accolades, and rightly deserved. If you look at some of the passes he made in this game, some of the toughness he had, he made some runs. He took a beating. And he's not really known as a mobile quarterback, although he showed that in this game. Talk about, in your words, his upside, his potential to play at that next level.
Oh, he has great potential to play at the next level. He's a pocket passer, as you alluding to, but he can come out and run. He's no Michael Vick, and he's no Lamar from Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, but he can make enough plays with his legs to keep you honest, which he's done in the last couple of games. He made some big runs in the last couple of games. And even in games before, we run an option with him on the goal line all the time. And he keeps it. They always take the back because they want him to beat them instead of the back. So they take the back and he run it in untouched. So he has enough mobility of where he can hurt you with his legs, but he can make every football throw on the field. He can make the hash throw to the sideline. He can make the seam throw, the down the sideline, across the middle throw, the post. He's accurate on his swing routes, on the little short routes, the check downs and things of that nature. Yes, he has all the potential in the world, and his draft status is only going to go up with all the quarterbacks coming out this year. Then next year, he's probably going to be a top 5 quarterback, in my opinion. And it doesn't matter if Aqeel Glass left and went to a Power 5 or he stayed here. He's still going to be a top 5 quarterback. I mean, what's the difference in him playing at Clemson his last year and playing here? He's still going to throw for 3,000, 4,000 yards regardless, So that's not going to – if he's played for me for the last 3 years and he's a top 5 NFL prospect, why do he need to go somewhere else? Why do you need to go somewhere else? You don't need Alabama. You don't need Clemson. You right here at Alabama A&M, and you still going to be a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
So that's what these guys don't. That's what they don't understand. If you can play, they're going to find you. It don't matter where you're at. How you think Jerry Rice got there? How you think Walter Payton got there? How you think Michael Strahan got there? How you think Robert Mathis got there? How you think John Elway got there? John Stallworth got there. They all came from HBCUs because they could play. And so if you can play, they'll find you. These guys think and listen to everybody tell them, oh, no, you got to be at this school if you want to go to the league, or you got to be at this school. No, you don't. You have to be able to play. I can't get you in the NFL. Sorry to say it, Deion Sanders can't get you in the NFL. Bo Jackson can't get you in the NFL. What gets you in the NFL is your film, because I can tell them all I want. I put the film on and you can't play. They're not bringing you in. You can say Deion Sanders can say what he wants. If they can't play, they're not bringing them in. Okay, the scout is not going to get fired to bring some drud in that I tell him and get fired. The coach is going to say, hey, man, why you bringing this dude in here? Oh, Coach Maynor said he could play. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Tell Coach Maynor to employ you. Okay, so I don't get them in the NFL. I don't get them in the NFL. Nick Saban don't get them in the NFL. Their film gets them in the NFL. If Nick Saban got him in the NFL, all 100 of his players would be in the NFL.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I've always said that. I'm glad it came from you, Coach.
Absolutely, without question.
The institution, everybody that was there at that institution, we get in. It's a select few, so that tells you more about their talent and who they are than it is any coach or what have you.
Right. Everybody. Oh, I can go to the league if I go here. If I go JUCO, then I go to a major college. I can go to the league. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're gonna go to the league if you can play. If you can play, you're gonna go to the league. If you can't, you're not going. Sorry.
In the story.
But
Coach, I'll give you a little time to say anything that you want to say to your followers, listeners, fans out there, Alabama A&M Bulldogs. just in general, any final comments you want?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for their support. Everybody out there that supported me in this program. And I just want to thank everybody for your support. All the people that wished us well, wish me well, and congratulations. I want to thank all of you guys. I don't know who all did it, but whoever did it, I want to thank them. And just know that we're going to keep working hard, and we're going to keep trying to put a good product out there on the field every year, each and every time we play. And we're going to play for 60 minutes.
Congratulations, Coach, on the SWAC 2021 Spring Football Championship, 2021 HBCU Spring National Champion, and congratulations on the 4-year extension. Well deserved, well done, and congratulations. Thank you for your time, Coach.
I got one other thing. Y'all gonna like this. This is for all the haters that say we only played 4 or 5 games. How many games did Ohio State play last year? Did they make it to the college football playoffs?
4 or 5.
Did it?
Yeah, they made it to the playoffs.
Did they make it to the playoffs? And then they beat Clemson.
Yep.
Didn't they beat Clemson, bud?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. So don't say nothing else about how many games we played. Get on the schedule or play, okay? I don't hear that crap. Get on the schedule or play, okay? And make sure you let me know you talk some junk first so I can run the score up on you.
That's the coach I want. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so cut all that bull crap out, okay? I don't hear that crap. Oh, y'all only played this, or y'all didn't play this team. Well, we played the teams on our schedule, okay? And we didn't cancel no games. Other teams we didn't play, they canceled the game, okay? So cut all that crap out.
No doubt about it. He is Coach Maynor, the 2021 Spring Football Coach, national champions for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, and he'll be there for a while, so you all have to deal with it. So let's boot it up. Spring 21 is coming. 12 members of SWAC, they got to come through Alabama A&M to get that championship trophy.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
No problem. This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. You heard us with our interview with Coach Maynor Jackson of the Alabama A&M football program. Stick with us as we will get in and start talking about the national champion, my final rankings, top 5 programs, and you already know the number 1 team is Alabama A&M, but we'll give you the rest of those, and we'll do it in proportional standings, and we'll also talk a little bit more in regards to getting into the fall 2021 season and seeing what these guys think about what's going on coming up next. We'll be right back after this break and talk to you more. This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Right.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down. It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
Follow the Black College Sports Network on social media at MyBCSN1, the number 1, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MyBCSN1. Follow the Black
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm.
We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Welcome back. Let's get into this poll ranking. This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. HBCU Huddle Report, Dr. Cavil's 2020 Spring 2021 HBCU Football Major Division Poll Rankings. At number 5, you have Prairie View A&M Panthers, 2-1 on the season, 73 votes. They remain at number 5. That is your Prairie View A&M Panthers. At number 4, South Carolina State Bulldogs, 3-1, 80 points, remain at the 4th spot. They lost to the Alabama A&M Bulldogs that you know there now. At number 3, you have the Southern Jaguars, 5-1, 4-1, 92 points. Coach Odom has taken his ship over there to Norfolk State in the MEAC, and now there's a new coach on the Bluff. So we'll see how that will take place coming into the fall. That should be interesting. At number 2, Arkansas Pine Bluff, 4-1 on the season, 4-0 in terms of conference play, 104 votes. They fall from the number 1 ranking as they lose that SWAC championship game to the number 1 team, none other than Alabama A&M Bulldogs. 5-0, 3-0. You just heard it. 12 first place votes. You heard Coach Maynor talking about that win and expectations going forward. So that is the top 5 teams as we talk about it. At number 5, Prairie View A&M Panthers, 2-1. At number 4, South Carolina State Bulldogs, 3-1. At 3, Southern Jaguars, 5-1. At 2, the Arkansas Pine Bluff, 4-1. And number 1, Alabama A&M Bulldogs, 5-0. Get it done for this year's 2021 Spring HBCU Football Major Division Poll Rankings. Not going to ask you about the poll rankings. That's pretty self-evident. But I do want to get into a little talk. This Sunday, while y'all were on the road and taking care of business, we had Vaughn on. Vaughn said that for the fall, in the East Division, his top 3 teams were Alabama State, number 2 was Alabama A&M, and number 1 is Florida A&M, FAMU. On the West side, he had number 3, Alcorn State, number 2, Prairie View A&M, and number 1, UAPB. We also had A.D. Drew on. And before I do that, I'm sorry. He said the championship game would be between, obviously, FAMU and Pine Bluff. He said the game would be in Tallahassee in the new renovated stadium. A.D. Drew was on the show. And his top 3.
Oh, my goodness.
He a little bit. He just said 2. He wouldn't even pick which one would be 2 and 3. He said FAMU and Prairie View would be 2 and 3. He wouldn't give me an order. But he said number 1, Alabama State. So he went off the board a little bit. Credit for that. On the West, he said UAPB at 3. Number 2, he had Southern. And Prairie View had number 1. So he said Alabama State and Prairie View. He wouldn't tell me who would be hosting the game. So we'll let him make it there. BJ Jones. This is interesting. This is what I want you all to do, is give me your entire 6. He gave me the 6. So on the east side, he had Mississippi Valley at number 6. At number 5, he had Jackson State. At number 4, he had Alabama State. At number 3, he had Bethune-Cookman. At number 2, he had Alabama A&M. And number 1, he had FAMU playing in that matchup. On the west side, he had Texas Southern number 6, Grambling State number 5, Prairie View at 4. He had Southern at 3. At 2, he had Pine Bluff. And at number 1, he had Alcorn State. You can go check out the Sunday edition of the show, and they actually gave their reason why. So you want to go check it out so you can see why they gave their analysis. BJ Jones said the matchup obviously would be FAMU versus Alcorn State. He had the championship going back to Alcorn in terms of them hosting the game. So I'm going to you, Charles, in terms of your 6 out of the East, your 6 in terms of order of finish. Way too early, preseason, a lot going on. But hey, this is what we're here for, to have some fun. Tell me your order of finish. Before you give that to me, I want to challenge all the Lab Lecture listeners out there. Give me your order of finish in terms of the way too early predictions for the fall 2021 in football. What are your order of finish in the East Division? What are your order of finish in the West Division? And then I really want you to break it down and tell me, of those 2 teams that you have at the top, who will be hosting the championship game in terms of 2021. We'll revisit this a little bit over the year to see what things change and how you may change it. But right now, Charles, give me your way too early prediction of the fall 2021 season after you heard Von Wilson, AD Drew, and BJ Jones.
Well, you know, I have a general philosophy of to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So, you know, I got Alabama A&M. They are Black College National Champions. They are SWAC champions. In the East, you have to go through them. Well, we'll start there. But 6, I will go Mississippi Valley State. 5, Bethune-Cookman. 4, I will go with Alabama State. 2 and 3 for me are toss-ups because I have to remind people that Jackson State did have the #1 recruiting class in a lot of FCS circles. So I'm not going to discount that the spring season was what it was, but I'm expecting pretty much a different roster when we get to the fall, or a roster that will have significant change. So I think Florida A&M and Jackson State will be fighting it out right there in that 2-3 position. So it's a toss-up for me in terms of fam and Jackson State. You get a lot of you get that answered with the Orange Blossom Classic, and real early. And then, you know, so it's, you know, fam or Jackson State fam, however you want to put it there, and then Alabama.
That's fine. I'm gonna go to you, Mike. You give me your East Division.
Starting number 6, I'm gonna go Mississippi Valley. Number 5, I'm actually going to go Bethune. Number 4, Alabama State. Number 3, Jackson State. Number 2, FAM, and number 1, Alabama A&M. To me, I agree. You got to beat the champ to be the champ. You got to beat the man. To beat the man, you got to beat the man. I think Jackson State hasn't had one full rotation, and I wouldn't put them at 5 or 6. They have recruits coming in. You know, they have you can give them a chance, and they will come up.
Did he really say 5?
Yeah.
Yes, a couple of them said 5. Am I lying, Doc?
No, that's what BJ Jones said. He said 5. We'll get to look at all this now. This is recorded. This is live. So, you know, you can take it back. You can change it. But right now, what he said. So who do you have number 1, Mike? You said Alabama A&M. Let me stick with you and go to the West Division. What are your top 6 teams in the West Division? Order of finish. Yeah, tell you. This is not for the faint of heart now.
The Wild Wild West. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. This is gonna surprise a lot of people. I don't see Grambling improving, and I see TSU making. So I'm gonna start with number 6, Grambling.
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead. That's
right. Number 5. I'm going to go Texas Southern. Number 4. I'm actually going to go Prairie View. Number 3, I'm going to go Southern. Number 2, UAPB. Actually, number 2, Alcorn. And number 1, UAPB.
You got UAP running it back. Go ahead. That's what they said. Run it back. Charles, I see you anxious to get on this. Go on. Let it go. Let it rip in the West.
All right. Let me go in the West. Let me go Texas Southern 6. It's a lot to overcome for Grambling. They're on 4 spring season. That bothered me. But they're making the turnovers that I think they need to to happen both offensively and defensively. But Grambling will be at 5. 4 for now. I can go with Prairie View at 4. 3, 2 and 3 are difficult for me. I have to go Arkansas Pine Bluff at 3. Southern at 2. And Alcorn at 1. Again, my general philosophy, to beat a man, you have to beat the man. And Felix Harper is still that man at Alcorn. So,
sticking with you, Charles, you have Alabama A&M getting it done and staying at the top, at least the way too early out of the East Division. You have them, Alcorn State, maintaining what they got done in terms of now being in the West Division. Who will host the championship game between those two teams? Charles?
If it came down to hosting those two, I think the West is just going to be such a bloodbath. I think it will be Alabama A&M hosting.
Great point. Great point. Mike, you have Alabama A&M coming out of the East and UAB coming out of the West. So you essentially have a rematch of this championship. This time it will not be in Jackson unless some things change. So somebody's going to host. Who do you have hosting this game?
It'll be in Bama.
It'll be in Bama. So both of you all have Alabama A&M repeating and hosting the game. We won't make you give a way too early prediction of who's going to win it, but I did want to tease out that a little bit. Charles, you want to jump back in there and say
I
something?
will. Oh,
well, to beat a man, you have to beat the man, but the man can't be beat now. So I always put that caveat out there. So,
well, like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. So you ain't got to stick with it from the thing. A lot of things will change in terms of that. And we'll get a chance to be in Birmingham. God willing, everything seems to be going in the direction. We'll get a little more report in terms of who makes spring camp. We'll get to go in there, take a deep dive. We'll get a chance to interview some coaches. So we'll see what things are looking like. And then we'll get a chance to do it again. We'll get an analysis of what the coaches says, what the media is saying, and several publications. So we'll do that. And then stick right here because we're going to take you throughout the season. We won't do any more summer sessions unless editions of this, unless there is something really big news that we need to get into. You know, we might do that for a SWAC baseball championship game or something of that nature. So just stick with us and see that. But in the fall, we'll be back hot and heavy Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're bringing you Sunday editions. We're working on some other things with BCSN in regards to maybe even sneaking in some Saturday before games cap off. And so obviously you got Charles and Neely doing the 1400 Club that you can do some focus points on Jackson State. You got Mike in terms of the 1876 sports and culture with his team to give you some inside look at Prairie View. And so you have a lot of myriad of ways that you're going to be really to get all your fixings in terms of what's going on. And that's including Brian and AD in terms of the sports wrap to give you a perspective, and they'll be able to give you a little more secrets inside in terms of FAMU or what's going on in that way. And that doesn't even mention Carlos or BJ Jones in terms of what they got out there. So you'll get all your fixings and feelings. So we'll take you throughout the season. So all this is going to change because things change in the sport of football. So we'll give you an update and walk you through the season. But I wanted to entertain you and just wanted you to get an understanding what excitement is here for HBCU football, in this case, particularly in the SWAC. And you know, right here on the lab, we're going to take you into terms of the CIAA. We're going to take you inside the SIAC. We're going to take you in terms of the new look NEAC. We're going to take you down in terms of the OVC with Tennessee State. We're going to take you into the Big South in regards to North Carolina A&T and Hampton to let you know what those teams are doing. What are the season predictions? We're going to take you actually to Oklahoma, inside Langston, and let you know what's going on there. Edward Waters as they prepare for the SIAC in a lot of their matchups. So we're going to take you all through HBCU sports, give you everything you need in regards to the football season. We're going to throw in some volleyball to make sure you get some updates there. We'll start sprinkling in some men's and women's basketball because you know that will take place. And then we're going to play it into the spring in terms of baseball, softball, track and field, which we will close up on this year. That'll do it for us right here for Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Wash and Charles Bishop. Hope you enjoyed the show. Great information, great comments. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. especially to the lab lecturers out there. You all do everything we need. Give us the energy to keep up. You all are fire. You're the reason that we do this. Without you, we are nothing. So again, we want to thank you. We'll find a way to actually, in the fall, we're going to find a way to add you all, your voice, not just typing in. We'll find a way to make sure we can bring some of you all in different ways to have some comments, even if it's recorded comments, that we bring in and answer a question throughout the week that you may want to know. So look for that coming. We're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to do what you all want and need. So keep bringing it in terms of what we need. We're going to make sure we get some soccer. Coach Stevenson, Alabama A&M, thank you for that. Women's soccer, it's going to be fun watching them. With a shout out there, we need to make sure that we give them some love as well. You know, we covered all. We'll get into it. We'll have some great interviews from some of these coaches as well and sneak in some of that during the summer. And don't worry, during the summer, we'll also take in the business side so you get a little more aspect of that, some research angles as well. So thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports, as we like to say around these parts, with the professors. That's Professor Washington, Professor Bishop. We hope you enjoyed our interview, bringing you the update in terms of SWAC Media Day with Dr. Jason Caples, the Senior Associate Commissioner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and our interview with the champions, Coach Maynor, giving us, Connell Maynor, I should say, giving us all that you need and all that you want in terms of that. Too bad we couldn't give you some of his off the mic comments. He is a character in so many different ways, but you know he's passionate about what he does, and he doesn't hold back. And you all got a little bit of that. But let's continue to do what we need to support our HBCUs in every form and fashion. Again, we thank you for listening to Dr. This Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, every Tuesday and Thursday right here at 6 o'clock. We look forward to next week as we'll discuss the latest in the news. We'll give you that Thursday edition, so stick with us. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, DrKenyattaCavil. That's DrKenyattaCavil. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Shout out to A.B. Drew, making sure you all got all that footage of the championship game and making sure that it all worked for us today. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook. That's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1, I should say, on Twitter. On Facebook, go to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. On YouTube, check us out there. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends. Push them over there. Do whatever you need. Hijack them. Make sure they subscribe. That really helps us a lot. Dream big and continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles.
Course.
Mike.
Lecture.
Dismiss.